There are many ways to add value, and there's many different mediums or different tools you can use to add value. This is pencil value, and today we're going to learn how to create color value with oil pastels. We're going to make shapes into forms, taking something 2D and turning it into 3D by adding value techniques. We're going to be using a circle, which will turn into a sphere, a rectangle that will turn into a cylinder, and then a triangle will turn into a cone. Now when picking colors with oil pastels, you want to make sure you use the analogous color scheme. Analogous colors means that they're next to each other on the color wheel. For this example, I'm going to choose a warm color scheme, but I have to make sure that the colors are next to one another on the color wheel. You'll need a variation of lights and darks, and the first technique we're going to learn is blending. Oil pastels are a lot like crayons, but they are not crayons, so we need to use them like they are oil pastels. Blending is another way of saying layering. We're going to be layering colors on top of each other and using the oil pastels to blend the colors together. We're not going to be using a paper towel, we're not going to be using our fingers, we're going to be using the oil pastels to blend the oil pastels. I chose yellow, orange, red, and purple in that order. When adding value using the blending technique with oil pastels, you want to start with your lightest color first. Since yellow is my lightest color, yellow becomes my base color. I take my base color and fill in the shape that I want to turn into a form. Now I have an even color. The sphere will be yellow, but will have variations of color to show the darks, the mediums, and the light values. Now a sphere, a cylinder, and a cone are all round forms, so any marks that I make should be curved to follow the form or the shape of these round forms. Then identify your light source, decide where you want your light to come from. My light is going to come from the top right, which will mean that all the lightest parts of those forms will be on the top right, and the darkest parts of those forms will be on the bottom left, the opposite of the light source. I go in with my next darkest color, which is orange, and I add a crescent shape, a curved line or curved shape to follow the form of the sphere. Anytime you add a darker color, you must then take a step back and add a lighter color to blend it together. Blending with oil pastels is layering colors on top of one another, and chances are you're going to need to layer one dark color and then go back with the lighter color and then layer on top of it. To blend them all together, you can use your base color to blend the yellow into the orange and then the orange into the red. For my core shadow, or my darkest part of the sphere, I'll add purple as my darkest color, and then I'll go back in with red to blend the purple into red. Remember, you start with your base color, add your next darkest, then go back in with your base color and blend that, go to your next darkest color, and then take a step back and blend, and then go to your darker color. You always take a step forward, and then you take a step back with your lighter color to blend. This is blending with oil pastel.